been joined by the High Commissioner of Rwanda to Ghana. Yes, we're going to spend some time with her and get into some conversations about Ghana-Rwanda relations. And of course, Rwanda is just on the verge of another election, so we'll be looking at that as well. Well, let me introduce to you Her Excellency Rosemary Mbabazi. She's the High Commissioner of Rwanda to Ghana. Your Excellency, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Now, how long have you been in Ghana?
Thank you very much for hosting us. We've been in Ghana since October 2023.
Wow, okay.
So we've been here for a while.
Okay, so you're doing like 8 months, you're in a short time, you've been a year here. Yeah.
Almost.
Right. Now, how do you find Ghana, generally speaking? Culturally, food-wise, you know, how do you find Ghana?
Ghana is a beautiful country. It is so hospitable, good people, very hospitable. You feel at home.
Okay.
This is a second home after Rwanda.
Okay.
And the only difference is the climate.
Okay.
In Rwanda, it's very cool, 23 degrees Celsius throughout the year.
Throughout the year?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so, but here is also fine.
Yeah.
And the climate is good, improving every day, especially with the rains. The food is okay, it's good.
Okay.
Trying to
we
learn
have a
to
lot
eat.
of pepper.
Yes, a lot of pepper. I'm trying to adapt.
Yeah.
We also have a similar pepper in Rwanda called akabanga.
Okay.
Akabanga means secret.
Okay.
And it is also on the market. It's now in Melcom.
Okay.
It's also in other 40 outlets in Ghana.
Oh,
it's
I see.
as strong
akabanga.
as... Yes,
wow.
akabanga.
But do a lot of Rwandans use pepper in their meals, though?
They use, but not as much as
we
here.
do.
Yes,
okay.
but we use it always. They will do it.
Okay.
And the Ghanaian friends who have tested the akabanga always say it is very strong. So I would encourage people to test it.
Okay, I look forward to that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I do like pepper, you know. So it will be interesting to see what that one is, what akabanga is like.
Yes.
Right. Where have you been in Ghana since you came? Where else have you been apart from Accra?
For the first time when I arrived, I had to visit around. I went to the monument at the Kwame Nkrumah because he's a Pan-African, and we have been studying this in our history. Over every school have to talk about the Pan-Africanism that emerged, that stood up from Ghana. Yeah. I also went to Cape Coast. Okay. Cape Coast to see the history. What we saw is totally different from what we were studying in our history.
Wow.
Yes, because we used to study about what happened in this part of the world.
Okay.
So we were studying and we thought something light. And when I visited, it's something much more than what we were studying in our history. And another place I visited also, we went to Kumasi to pay a courtesy call to His Majesty Otumfo. And we went there. So I haven't gone to other parts of the Ghana, but at least I've been to some places.
Wow, fantastic. No, it sounds amazing, you know, traveling around. And some of the experiences, I'm just curious about what you said about Cape Coast. How is it taught that makes it feel like it's a lot lighter than it actually is?
Maybe when you have not gone to the place and experienced it, the millions I saw, the numbers they were telling us, it was told that there was slave trade and through the transatlantic, and it was not much more of numbers and the suffering of the people and where they were coming from, how they were transported, how they stayed, how they were treated, how they were sold, and many of them who died in the sea. So that is something incredible, that the details that I found, of course the school or the books do not go into all the details that I found on the ground. And the people visiting, and that kind of memory is so strong. I felt like I was also there because when you're there, you feel you're part of it.
A lot of people are actually very surprised when they make the visit to the weight, you know,
the weight it carries
of the experience. All right, so I think it's July 15th. Rwanda is voting.
Yes.
Okay, talk us through what the atmosphere is like generally on election day. I mean, this is what, the fourth one you were having since the unfortunate genocide. What's election day like in Rwanda?
Maybe we can start from the campaigns.
Okay.
Because elections are the climax of the whole process. The elections come after a period of time when the campaigns go on. And since 30 years ago, when Rwanda was liberated, after the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, when it was stopped, from June 22nd, the campaigns have been going on. We have about 9 political parties in Rwanda, and 8 of them are in a coalition with the ruling party, which is RPF, Rwanda Patriotic Front, which is led by His Excellency President Paul Kagame as the chairman, and one other political party which is standing also as a candidate and is also campaigning, plus another independent candidate. So we have 3 candidates.
Okay, who are running?
Yes, and all of them are given equal access to state media and private media, are given spaces where they can campaign. But there is a lot of peace. There is a lot of joyous mood, entertainment. The young people, they don't want the campaigns to end.
I see.
Because they go around, the artists, they have created music, the designers have created designs for people. It's like a wedding in the campaign.
Very celebratory.
Yes, celebrating.
Okay.
But it's about celebrating what you have achieved as a country, celebrating the work of the president. He's a unifying figure, he's a unifying factor of Rwanda that has brought together all the people from all walks of life. Those who committed genocide, those who went to exile when they committed genocide against Tutsi, those who came back and who were in exile since '59. So it is bringing all the walks of lives, all people, all Rwandans, and they feel Rwandan. And it is a moment of celebrating and also reflection, reflecting on what we have achieved as a country in the past. And so the mood is it's not like a campaign, it's just celebrations and celebrating all the achievements. It's going to end on 13th, that is Saturday. And the diaspora, we are going to start voting before the country itself, people in the country. And so we are going to do the voting, and the election is going to happen on 14th, that is on Sunday. And then on 15th, we have in the country, the people will be voting, and the election is happening in Rwanda on 15th. And then on 16th, we have the special groups, women, youth, and people with disabilities.
I see.
Because this time we are combining the presidential and parliamentary. It's the first time we are going to be combining both.
Okay, so that's different this election.
Yes,
Okay, is there anything else that's different this election? And then also, if you can share with us why you decided this time around to combine the parliamentary and presidential on the same day.
As we see, our country is rebuilding itself, and every time we keep on seeing what is better for us. So we used to have separate the elections of the presidential and the election of parliament. But it would cost us a lot, and the cost implications combining or having them separately one year after another, it was so fatigue for the commission, but also in budget-wise. And we thought that money could be used to build more schools, that money could be used to build more hospitals and roads and other facilities that benefit our communities. And so we combine them so that we do all things all together since they complement each other. And secondly, it's the first time also we're going to have 5-year term. And previously the president was serving 7 years and the parliament 5 years. But this time they're all going to be serving 5 years altogether. So that is also, the third one is celebrating. It will be also having, after 30 years of stability, 30 years of prosperity, 30 years of sustained growth. And here we're celebrating because we want to continue with him so that we continue seeing development and prosperity. Now,
how many people are going to be voting in this election?
The total population of Rwanda is about 14 million people. And out of those, 9.7 million people are on the voters list, are eligible. And out of those, 3.7 are young people. So almost 46% of the population. And majority of those are first-time voters. And so it's a big, we believe, we always have big turn-up to vote for our leaders. Now this combined presidential and parliamentary.
Considering you have so many first-time voters, what do you think people are interested in terms of what are they voting for, right? I mean, in a lot of countries, people say there's unemployment, so they are voting against somebody because they think the person will not give them the employment they're looking for. Other places, they look at it and say, it's, you know, the issue of money in our pockets, you know, and so, you know, we'll vote for somebody who we believe will bring us money in our pocket. What are the young voter population, what are they voting for?
We have had the testimonies of young people, even when you go on social media. They're the majority who come at the sites, at the campaigning site. Even when I was coming, I was following. They are going to the second last site, and it is populated over 500 people, and they left their homes at around 3 a.m. You know, Rwanda is 2 hours ahead of us, and they left home 3 a.m. just to go in the moods and say, don't sleep, come. This is time, this is the choice, this is our voice. And the young people always say they are voting for him, or they want him back in office. What they are voting is democracy. What they are voting for is unity that we want to see continually. They are voting for continuity, perpetual growth, and prosperity. They are voting because they feel they have space. The young people, they are the ones serving in most of these offices, including the president's office. Over 80% are young people below 35 years. I think that's why you see speed in everything they do. Prime Minister's office, over 75% are young people below 35 years of age. In the cabinet, you find them. In the parliament, you find them. Civil society, but also in the private sector. They are driving the innovations that we have. So young people looking at what the development the country has achieved so far, they feel they want to be part of it, but they are seeing as part of innovation is to have him back. And also part of the development that we want to see, to sustain the growth we have seen, and also to sustain and protect the gains we have achieved so far.
So we're looking at some images on the screen, you know, seeing various people clearly in, you know, celebratory mood. When you do the close-up shots, you see, you know, how some of the, there you go, you know, very, very celebratory mood and all that. One of the questions that I think a lot of people have who are not part of the, what are we seeing? Okay, so which part of Kigali? Is this Kigali?
Yes, this is Kigali.
Okay.
It's difficult to know which place because all of them are on. Okay, this is Kigali.
Okay, yes. Ministry of Health, you can see there. All right, okay. So, a lot of people, you know.
This is another political party.
Okay.
That is the Green Party.
So, okay, this is a Green Party. Okay. This is this the
Dr.
Francis?
Frank.
It's Frank.
Yes.
Frank. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So how big is the Green Party?
The Green Party is growing. It has been there for less than 10 years.
Okay.
And it is growing. And you could see there isn't much to say that they are going to bring on board, but we accommodate everyone's ideas.
Yeah.
But of course, they complement what we're doing, and he's a member of parliament.
Okay.
So he has been part of it. In Rwanda, in our parliament, it is consensus. In our political, how we manage is to have consensus in whatever we do. Okay. Whether you're in a different political party, when you're doing the Vision 2050, 2035, we combine all our efforts, our ideas, and our innovations. And when you're in parliament, you're not representing any political party. You're not representing any location. You are a member of parliament for the whole country.
I see.
So when you bring it on, say, because I come from the east, I have to make sure the biggest budget goes to the east. No, it is depending on the needs. It can even come last when you are the head of the commission, because we prioritize where the vulnerabilities are and where the challenges are. So he's a member of parliament. He has been part of the development journey, and the party is growing.
A lot of people who are not necessarily part of the Rwandan conversation wonder, and that President Paul Kagame, seems a very astute leader in terms of his leadership style and understanding how to lead the people, right? And then you also find that he's a very disciplined man. Clearly, very, and for me, I think these are two very important traits to have as a leader. The concern, I guess, is when he is no longer able to contest as a leader, will we have people of his caliber who will replace him and sustain what Rwanda has been able to develop so far. Because you are clearly a beacon of light on the continent, you know. So everybody wishes well that this is Rwanda should be able to do this beyond. I don't know what the thinking generally is, that post Kagame, one day in the future, what would things look like?
Right now we're thinking about the present, and what we have is the present.
Yeah.
We think about the future when we're there, and right now we are looking at what we have achieved, especially Rwanda's history.
Yeah.
Rwanda's history, where we come from, our context, our history is determining how we handle our politics and how we handle our things, especially what benefits our people.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, he's pro-people, he's disciplined, he's concentrating on what benefits the community, but also not only Rwanda, for the continent. He speaks so much wherever he goes on behalf of the continent.
Yeah.
So I want us to focus probably what is going to happen now in the next 5 years, and when we reach there, we'll be knowing what to do.
You know what to do when it's time.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what's the period like between? So, how much? What's the length of a presidential season? So, how?
5 years.
It's 5 years.
Yes.
It's 5 years. Okay.
That is 2029.
Okay. So we'll come up again for elections. Is it the same as the parliamentary?
Yes.
It's also 5 years.
Yes. It's
Okay.
going to be parliamentary.
All right. Okay. So, generally speaking, do we have campaigning by parliamentarians for, you know, because in Ghana we do a lot of that. There's parliamentarians go on the ground, they campaign and all of that. Do you also have a similar?
Yes.
You know?
Actually, it is happening parallel.
Okay.
We always see probably the one of the presidential, both the presidents, the independent, the Green Party and His Excellency, the candidate of RPF. But also the parliamentarian. So he has been having days when he's not campaigning, breaks in the period, and then we have parliamentarian for all the other political parties. So they go on ground also. But when they go on ground, they campaign as RPF. They campaign as PSD. They campaign as PPC, the other political parties.
Okay.
They don't campaign as Rosemary.
Okay.
So when the political party wins, even when we do elections, when we do the voting, we vote the political party.
Okay.
And in the political party, they have a list of the members who are going to be there. If they win these numbers, then those are going to be going to parliament.
Oh, I see.
And we're talking about 80.
Okay.
80, the numbers in the parliament. Yes.
For parliament.
Yes. And we have 500 the parliamentarians who are all campaigning.
Okay.
So that's how. So the political party itself selects the list of the topmost, these who have more actions they have demonstrated. And when they go at the polling site, we elect the political party.
Okay. So on the ballot paper, you don't see
the names.
Like my name will not be on the ballot paper.
No.
It's the political party that's on the ballot paper.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we have a report that was filed by our colleague and correspondent and also host of a number of shows here at ChannelOne TV, Caleb Kuda. All the way from Rwanda. Let's take a look at this one.
The Nyarangenge district in Kigali, Rwanda came alive as President Paul Kagame's campaign tour made a stop here. The event was met with jubilation from the crowd, who credit Kagame with bringing reconciliation, unity and development to their country. He tells his people, democracy is not about people choosing on your behalf. No one should decide for you. That is how it should be understood everywhere, including where it supposedly originates from. For those who claim to be the creators of democracy, no one chooses for them. That is why they have no right to decide for us. Our choices are a result of our unique context. The manifesto of Kagame's party, the RPF, focuses on economic and social transformation, governance, and justice. The party touted its achievements, including Rwanda's GDP growth from 3.9% in 2017 to 8.2% in 2023, and an increase in life expectancy from 66.6 to 69.6 years. This is how some of the people feel about Paul Kagame and his party.
I will be very happy to vote our President Kagame 100 by cent. We are very happy with him. He built the unity, he built peace and development. Why do you want to vote for him again?
Because of everything he has done, tremendous. The country's changed forever and ever. We are happy to vote for him and to vote him forever and ever.
Would you ever give anyone else a try?
In July 15, all of us will be there and we will vote for him. Yes.
This is why your friend Frank.
Right, Frankie. No music for Frank. We've come to Nyanza in the southern province of Rwanda, where the main contender for the July 15 election in Rwanda is holding his campaign. Now, we've been driving for well over 4 hours through the villages here, and we could not spot any paraphernalia for the Green Party. For a moment, we thought we were just taking a drive through the villages where a massive road construction has been underway. But finally, after 4 hours, we are here in Nyanza, and it appears to be a very decent crowd, one that could be set to be an activation for any decent company, say a startup or middle-sized company back home in Ghana.
Dr. Frank Habineze of the Green Party is Paul Kagame's main contender. His party has 2 out of 80 seats in Rwanda's parliament and 1 seat in its Senate. His campaign contrasts Paul Kagame's, easily mistaken as an activation for a startup brand in the streets of Accra. The Green Party attracts fewer citizens, a good number of whom looked like school children. Habineze tells the press he is confident of winning the July polls.
I think this time we have a better chance than 2017, because in 2017 our party was only 4 years old as a registered party, but right now we are over 10 years old. And in 2017 we were not being in any state structure, but the year after, which was 2018, we were able to also to campaign in parliamentary elections, and our party got seats in parliament. We got 5% of the national vote, so we shifted from the 0.4% that I had gotten in 2017 to 5% of the national vote, which enabled us to become parliamentarians. And a year later, we were also able to front a candidate who was elected in the Senate. So our party has been having 3 seats in parliament, both 2 seats in the lower house and 1 seat in the Senate, which has also made a big, significant contribution to the country. And we also have other members who have been elected in the local councils. One is the district council of Ululindo, and others in the local councils. You have some ladies here who have been elected in the women councils and different places. So we have more chances than 2017 because of what we have been doing. But more to that, our manifesto, or the political program that we campaigned for in 2017 and 2018, has significantly been achieved. Over 70% of our promises have been achieved. I will be the president of the Republic of Rwanda.
You're sure about this?
Yeah, I'm very sure about that. Yeah.
I haven't seen many of your posters or party paraphernalia across town.
It's not about posters, it's about the ideas we can sell the people.
But the Secretary General of RPF, Gasamagera Wallace, sees no contest at all.
Our party is dominant, yes, we know. And we don't think that we are there just to nurture any other party. Those parties who share with us the same vision are coming to us, and we are developing and carrying forward that vision. Free and fair election, I think you never say that this multitude of people you saw here, anyone has been forced to come here. So it will be for the elections. We call on everybody, and anyone who wants comes and votes. I wish we'll be there to see how the ambience will be. It will be even better than what we saw today. For us, we used to say, it is not a voting party, it is a wedding party. Because people are so much how could I say? Yeah, they're completely taken up that by 11 in the morning they will have finished. Everyone will have cast his vote. And please make sure if you are around, check if there is anyone behind them, and that will be very clear. This is how it is. We have been doing it for the last so many years. It won't be different this time.
In some 30 days, the people of Rwanda will be going to the polls to vote again. The governing RPF is confident that they will win the trust of the people because over the years they've delivered on their promises and they're looking forward to implementing policies that will transform the life of every Rwandan. They've assured that the contest will be free and fair without any intimidation of opponents. They're also inviting political parties that share their vision to join them.
All right, so that was Caleb Kuda giving us some updates for all that is happening, following the trail, the campaigning and all that. Her Excellency was telling us about how all of that goes. And you heard what the man said. He said, it's not a voting party, it's a wedding party. All right, so that's pretty much sums up what you were saying, very celebratory and all that. What are your, let's talk about Ghana-Rwanda relations. What's Rwanda thinking in terms of the relationship with Ghana and the future of that?
Thank you. As you rightly said, it is celebratory mode, and we are really, really looking forward to on even up to 2029 with him. Our relations, Rwanda and Ghana, we have 30 years and more relations that have been built on mutual partnership. It is only Ghana that stood with Rwanda in 1994 when the genocide against Tutsi was happening. So when the whole world talks about, everyone left us except few friends of ours, including Ghana. So we have, from way back 30 years, we have this strong relation. The Ghanaian contingent that was in the UN by then, the UN mission was told to leave and vacate Rwanda because the situation was becoming harder. And it's only the Ghanaian contingent with other few who stayed. They risked their lives to stay with the people who are being killed. And so a friend in need is a friend indeed. So that's our relations. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So Ghana has been, over time, building on these relations. We have had our military being trained here and also had yours coming to Rwanda. We had a strong military cooperation between our two countries. We have strong relations in terms of economy. Our Rwanda flies to Ghana 4 times a week. And we have Rwandan and Ghanaian products on both markets. The two heads of state, His Excellency President Nana and His Excellency President Paul Kagame, they spearheaded the vaccination facility that is going to be happening on the continent. After what happened in COVID-19, we don't have to keep on waiting to look outside, to look for salvation elsewhere. We can also do that and manufacture that on the continent. The two heads of state also have been pushing, and Rwanda supported Ghana when it was going to host the head office of the CFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area. And Rwanda and Ghana were the first two countries that ratified this document so that we can have this continental trade going on, intra-trade increase so that we can find strength within our own continent. And many more. We have also signed many bilateral documents, especially the Memorandum of Understanding and Partnership, and many more things are coming forward, especially that we all looking forward to see how we can strengthen the business aspects. Politically, it's all well, because we want to constitute on the economic aspects so that we can have more intra-trade between our countries. We have many tourists visiting Rwanda from Ghana, especially that we have a flight of 5 hours non-stop, and you're already in Rwanda or you are in Accra. We have many students from Rwanda studying from Kumasi and Tamale and also Aseshi and Lancaster universities. We have a number of them here also studying. So there's a lot happening, and the strong relations between the two countries are there, but most importantly is the working relation between our two heads of state.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. This one has been exciting.
One invitation?
I mean, I'm definitely, I don't know whether it to be this year or early next year, but I need to make the trip to Kigali.
I just want to invite you. We have liberation. And we're going to be celebrating 30 years of liberation, rebirth of Rwanda on 26th of this month.
Okay.
At our embassy, at the Chancery.
Okay.
We'll be sending out an invitation. We want to come and we
look
enjoy
forward to it.
and we celebrate what you see.
I
We
look forward
continue
to
with
it.
our wedding party.
Yes, I definitely look forward to that.
Thank you.
All right, okay. Some people are already lobbying behind the camera to go with me when I come, so
sure.
we'll see. Well, Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so
All
much.
right,
Thank
all right.
you.
So we'll be speaking with Her Excellency Rosemary Mbabazi. She's the High Commissioner of Rwanda to Ghana. And the reference she made actually to Ghana being there as a friend in need at the time, it was actually in reference to General Henry Kwame Anyidoho, who was the leader of the Ghana contingent in the UN. And because of his decision that we will not withdraw, even though all other people had withdrawn, they were able to maintain a UN team on the ground, largely led by the Ghanaian troops. So yes, Rwanda is close to our heart as well.